Thank you once again for the invitation. It's really an honor for us and for me personally to be here and to speak to you and to all who watch us on YouTube during this streaming. We are here to tell you a story. A story which begins after the Second World War, and it starts with a very simple fact, if I may ask for the first slide. And this fact is that after the Second World War, Polish farmers successfully resisted collectivization, which later enabled the overthrow of communism, as simple as that. Communists everywhere were trying to take land from the people. And in Poland, Polish people opposed so heavily to it that they simply felt not strong enough to do it. We were the only country, communist country in Europe that actually preserved individual farming and family-owned farms as the main model of food production. So what was the effect? Communists simply could not starve us to death like they did, for example, in Ukraine before the 1930s, during the so-called big famine. Of course, they were trying. We have a poster here, communist propaganda poster. We were talking here a lot about targeting young people with leftist, communist, socialist, globalist propaganda. That's what this poster is actually doing, because the text here is addressed directly to young people. This claim and is trying to encourage young people to fight for the better socialist countryside. So it's actually targeting young people, just like today ideologies do it. So I'm bringing up this fact because it was really crucial for the fall of communism and for regaining independence. At the same time, may I ask for the next slide. At the same time in the United States, we had a president who understood this very well. It was Harry Truman, seen here, speaking to farmers, American farmers in Dexter, Iowa, in September 1948, and saying this: in a very real sense, the abundant harvest of this country are helping to save the world from communism. Communism thrives on human misery, and the crops you are producing are driving back the tide of misery in many lands. Your farms are a vital element in America's foreign policy. Keep that in mind. That is of vital importance to us and to the world. These are words of Harry Truman addressing American farmers in Iowa, but it also worked for us in Poland. And that's why when may I have next, please? When in 1980, in summer 1980, the Solidarity movement was created as a workers' union. We have the famous Solidarity logo here. Shortly after that, a couple of months later, in May 1981, Next, please. The Solidarity Union of Individual Farmers was created also as well. So the Union of Individual Farmers, Union of agricultural solidarity. And it was very crucial because thanks to the fact that people owned the land, could produce their own food, could supply their families, their relatives with food, communists could not react in the way they usually did, creating shortages of food. And of course they were trying, but it was ineffective because we had individual farming. And then next, please. In 1987, John Paul II came to Poland and made this statement, speaking to Polish farmers in the city of Tarnów. I think there is one thing you probably should know about John Paul II. So he was, of course, a Catholic priest. He was a bishop. He was the Pope. But he was also an academic. And in his research as an academic, his field of research was not so much theology, so not so much religion, although it had all this religious background, but it was rather philosophy. And his main field of research was Marxism. So he was a great expert in Marxism, which made him also, of course, a great critic of it, right? So he knew that communism will collapse. He knew that the changes across the corner. Remember, it's 1987, well before the fall of communism, but he's coming to Poland and says this: the model of the peasant or peasant worker working with little effect and beyond his strength should be replaced by the model of the efficient and independent producer, conscious and able to use, no less than others, cultural assets and capable of multiplying them. So the model of peasant we had at that time should be replaced by the model of efficient and independent, two crucial words, producer, agricultural producer. So we did that homework in last 30 years. It was a tough road and it was a lot of work. And I'm proud to be here and speak on behalf of, thousands of or millions of Polish farmers who did this work actually. And we moved from this model of small farms to model of still family-owned based agricultural production, but a really modern and effective one. So that leads us to the current situation. We are the leader on many fields when it comes to food production. Here you have just one example. So these are exporters, the main world exporters of frozen fruits. So as you can see, Poland is the biggest one exporter of frozen fruits. There are many other examples. So we are the biggest European poultry producer. We are leading on many other things in many other areas, like apples, for example. Here is we are the one of 3 biggest apple exporters. You have some, next please, if you can switch the slide. And to the right, you have also a chart showing that we are also making happy climate alarmists, because things we produce a lot, like poultry or apples, cause a really low carbon carbon emission. So we produce a lot of food, we produce it of good quality, and we export it to all the world. But there is more than this. Next, please. So we really want to partner with and to bring sustainable farming to the world. So we partner with many countries. We support development of agricultural farming in many, many regions in the world. Here we have examples of berry trade, berry industry. We are very strong in berries, and we support actually the production of berries also in, for instance, in Latin American countries like Chile or Peru. So it's complementary because berries, you cannot. The condition of storage are difficult and so on. So it's complementary. They supplied berries for us when there is a winter in Poland and you cannot pick them up here, and then we send our berries there, and we cooperate. We partner in that on a really, really high level. Next, please. We have our own brands when it comes to food production and food industry. There are some really nice examples like this brand D Wine. It's a small winery founded by really nice young couple we are seeing on the photo. But what I wanted to show you is how these brands, these entrepreneurs contribute to local community and the community in general, because they not only produce wine, but they also teach other people how to produce wine. Or they organize neighborhood events, right? So they share their experience, they share their attitude, and they, of course, create sustainable businesses, because that's also an important aspect of it. If I may ask for the next slide. But we are also developing new technologies, like very sophisticated bio fertilizers produced in a very innovative way, very effective. Next, please. Which we sell and export, for example, to China. Yes, we do export to China, and it's a great success. Or next, please, to Africa. Here you can see the founder during some talks in Angola. It's a country we partner a lot with when it comes to agriculture. Next, please. We have a company which developed nanofluids. So nanosilver fluids which can replace chemical pesticides. What a great news for the German chemical industry. They won't have to do it anymore. And next, please. These products we also spread across the world, helping other countries to develop their agriculture. This photo was taken last week. They just signed an agreement and will build a factory in Ethiopia. So this is the point. Next, please. More than that, there is more than that, because we are also hoping to launch very soon our own satellites constellation to facilitate precision farming, not only in Poland, but also in the whole region. That's a really advanced project, and it's going to be launched really soon, hopefully, and will make our agriculture, our food production even more effective. So we really want to contribute to the world prosperity, not in a way that we want to exploit other countries, selling them low quality chemicals or whatsoever. We develop really advanced technology. When it comes to these satellites, of course, they are driven by Polish AI as well. So there was a discussion on Monday here whether AI is a threat or an opportunity. So it becomes less threat and more opportunity when you have your own artificial intelligence. And we are lucky enough to have a very good programists in Poland. ChatGPT was actually designed and engineered by two guys from Poland. It's officially acknowledged by the OpenAI. So we can create our own artificial intelligence to drive project like this, and we also think that's one of our it's a fundamental thing for the independence, because that's obvious that algorithms, artificial intelligence are tool of control and tool of power, and to remain independent, you need to create your own. Next, please. There are also, of course, there are some challenges and threats. We analyze them. We have the Technical University of Warsaw. We have a great team of researchers, interdisciplinary researchers, who work on great research studying in globally and also in Poland. And so they created this chart, or this matrix of Poland agri-food security, pointing out some great challenges like cost model exhaustion, like lack of this tax sovereignty. We're still, dealing with that. Hydrological shortage. We are unfortunately, Poland is a country which has a shortage of water. Like hostile takeovers, or rural depopulation, or retailer pressure, very important, and considerable factor. We are also monitoring global threats and challenges for food market. Next, please. And these are well-known: water resources, but also genetic monopolization. We were working on this as well, developing our own genetic material at our universities. We have special farming universities, agricultural universities in Poland that which work on that. Currency fragmentation. So the energy price volatility, and so on. So these are global problems. But if I may ask for the next slide, it shows European Union agri-food risks. And this is absolutely amazing, because most of them, if you look at this chart, most of them are actually created by the policy of the European Union, because these are risks like regulatory disarmament, or uncontrolled imports, demographic aging, resource dependency, hybrid price war, bureaucracy, capital outflow, or profitability drop. So these are all. So most of these dangers or challenges in the European Union are created by the European Union itself, but by the European Union policy, and that's really a sad thing, because we are being apparently governed by troublemakers, and that's a real problem, and we need to do something about it. Good news is that we have some successes on that. May I have the next slide, please? But the most recent threat to the Polish agricultural market and the food production in Poland and the whole Europe is, of course, the Mercosur agreement. You can see now the announcement from France 24. It's saying EU and Mercosur bloc sign landmark free trade deal after 25 years of negotiations. So the European Union and Mercosur bloc of South African countries signed on Saturday a free trade deal that follows a quarter century of careful negotiations. We prefer rather to call it forging this deal. It's negotiations is like a very little joke. Good news is that today it was blocked by the European Parliament after protests yesterday. As you know, unfortunately, two our members were arrested during this protest, but by the majority of, I think, 10 votes, the Mercosur agreement was at least for now blocked by the European Parliament, and that's a good news. What's so bad about it? Because this is a fundamental question. What's bad about it? A trade agreement. Of course, we let's have an example here. Next, please. Here we have a list of countries, major countries, which secured the protection of designation of origin, right? And there are 340 products protected, which designation of origin is protected in this agreement. 63 are from France, 59 are from Spain, 57 from Italy, and 27 from Germany. Frankly, we all know expressions like désignation d'origine protégée or denominazione d'origine protetta. But I do speak German quite well, but I don't know how to say in German. How to say it in German? It's ich weiß es nicht. But apparently we will now going to learn, right? How about Poland? You can now guess how many products on trademarks Poland have secured, unless you don't watch the presentation, don't see the presentation. So two products we secured. Our wonderful leftist government secured 2 products, and there are 2 because there are 2 different types of vodka. Just to make sure that we still will have to explain to other people in the world that Poland is not Russia, right? So we do have our other products. We do have many regional products which are worth to be protected, but they are not in this agreement. Next, please. Of course, we owe all this to this young lady. Ursula von der Leyen, and to Germans. So why Germans are so important, and why this was this agreement, this deal, so important that they worked on it, or they spent 25 years working on it. Germans invested a lot of resources in that deal well before they even started negotiated this agreement. Next, please. Here you can see a photo from something called Fazenda Volkswagen in 1973. Volkswagen bought 140,000 hectares in Amazonia and created a huge farm where they exercised human rights abuse, deforestation, exploitation, you name it, for 10 years. It was revealed by a Catholic priest working there. And after the scandal, Volkswagen withdrew just recently. A court trial in Brazil was over on this case. But this is just one example. So Germans acquired a lot of land in Latin America, in Brazil, in Argentina, especially after the Second World War, when many of German Nazis escaped there with money stolen during the war and artworks and other things. But more than that, what's wrong with the food from Mercosur countries? So it contains generally, so average food from Mercosur, average farmers or farms, because there are no farmers that produce this food. There are big farms owned by big capital, by funds and other entities. These farms use 6 times more chemicals that Polish farmers do. So that's the scale of pollution, pollution of soil, pollution of food, which we are dealing with. So where these chemicals come from, that's a question worth asking. They of course come from German chemical industry, right? So these are German chemical companies, corporations that produce these chemicals. Where do fertilizers come in Mercosur countries? Mainly from Russia. So that's the deal. But there is more than that, because as I said, we are studying the Great Reset in Poland quite closely. So it seems that there is an idea of making one region dependent on other regions in a way that you are able, or they are able, to control the whole world, right? So that's why farming in Europe needs to be destroyed in order to make Europe dependent on the food from the Latin America. That's why industrial production needs to be destroyed in Europe in order to make it dependent from China and other regions. So that's the mechanism behind. That's what we believe as the goal, to make the world, to make no region, not only in terms of countries, but no region in terms of continents, independent and sovereign. There are, however, some good news. James, name them next, please, because recently we had an election, presidential elections in Poland. We have a new president who understands this these issues, and who appointed Tomasz Obszański, the chairman of the Solidarity of Farmers, his advisor on agriculture. And that's a good news, and that gives us a hope, and that gives us also I wouldn't say mandate, but it makes us also encourages us, or that's the right word, encourages us to invite you to work together. We really deliver when it comes to agriculture. We have our own proposals, but we will not do it on our own. We need to work together. And that's our message to you for today. We want to invite you to work together on preserving sustainable farming across the world, because it is under threat across the world on all continents, and we need to preserve it everywhere. And we need to do it globally. We have tools for that. We have enough power, and I believe also we have enough determination. Thank you very much.